So after half a season with Fukushima United, we now have a transfer special where we've already got players coming in and we've already got players coming out, but we need to make our own mark on this team, I think, as well. And in addition to that, we've also got an end of season review. So let's get on with it. So before we get into the end of season review, we've got a few emails here that we'll just quickly go through. The Club Vision expectations meeting. Now, the expectation from the board is that we play attacking football, we make the most of set pieces, play entertaining football and play high tempo, pressing football. All of that is good with me. And they want us to finish mid-table in the J3 League. I mean, we finished 6th this season. So as long as we don't go backwards too much, then we'll achieve their objectives. My objective personally is I want to push for promotion. I'm not saying we'll get promotion, but I want to at least be there and thereabouts. My contract, by the way, does expire at the end of next season as well. Now, we'll quickly accept the current vision. The squad dynamics, yep, that's fine. Managerial support is still average, but it's going up. We're getting there. The end of season meeting, we'll discuss the plans with the team. I mean, a lot of them are going to be leaving, but thank you all for coming. Let's talk about a J3 League aims next season. So we need to say to them that we want to be mid-table, which is that one, and they're all pleased. I will say with this kind of thing that I think that needs to be improved for FM25, because if we've just finished 6th in the league, can we not have ambitions of a top half finish rather than mid-table? You know, just a slight increase. It doesn't have to be that because we finished 6th and now we want to win the league, but that's exactly the sort of reaction we're after, and that's all we're going to talk about. That's all I ever do talk about. Don't go into too much detail. Everyone seemed happy. Everyone came out of it really well. And I think what we'll do, so we've got an end of season break now. I think what we'll do now is we'll move on to the end of season review before we get into the transfer special side of things. Here we go then, end of season review. Won't take very long, this one. We're only here for half the season. We don't really know much about the players that came in. Miyazaki came in this season. He was really good for us. I really liked having him, 37-year-old veteran fullback. I don't usually like old players, but he was particularly good. Shibata also came in. He made appearances on the subs bench, a few starts. And Naoki Suzu, who, yeah, he was a defender for us. I'd like to say he was pretty decent. I mean, none of their defence was decent, really, apart from the wing-backs. The central defenders were a bit naff, as we know. In terms of transfers out, they only had one going out, which was Ryota Kitamura, and he seemed to have a really good time of it. He's an attacking fullback. Yeah, he seemed to have a really good time of it at Miyazaki, not the player, the club. It's a popular name in Japan, I'm starting to realise. In terms of the league table, Imabari have gone up. I'm assuming Miyazaki have also gone up, so we'll have a look at who's coming down later in the transfer special. And Yokohama did lose the playoff game with the other team, Briavaka or something they're called, and Sanuki have gone down as well. So 2 are going down, 2 will be coming up from what I presume is the Japanese version of non-league. We had 5% of our home attendance field. I mean, that's pretty poor, really. 1,135. We finished 6th, as you can see, with 14 wins, 15 draws, 9 defeats. We had a goal difference of 17. We scored plenty once I got there, but we also conceded plenty, and making ourselves better defensively next season is the main aim. In the All Japan Cup, we went out before I arrived. We lost to Tiono SC, whoever they are. Let's have a look at who they are. It doesn't tell you. Doesn't tell you what. Oh, they're in the Nippon Soccer League, which I think is the league just below the J3, so England's version of the National League. Moments to remember: 6-1 win against Toyama. Oh, that's the biggest win. Sorry, the match to remember was a 2-0 win against Sanuki. I think that might have been when we first arrived. And then goal of the season was Uata in a 2-1 win against Hashinoe. Having a look at the finances, everything's gone up. Competition prize money stayed where it is. I don't think you get any prize money in the J3 League. They always go up in the first season anyway. We're 1.5-star national reputation. Yamamoto, Nobe, Kobayashi, Mori and Fantini. I mean, our 2 goalkeepers have been amongst the top shirt sales. We only sold 131 shirts, by the way. So, yeah. that goes to show how small time Fukushima are. But who knows where we might be by the end of it all. In terms of the actual team of the year, Yamamoto in goal, Miyazaki and Kobayashi out wide, Obu and Suzu in the middle. I mean, 6.55 and 6.72. I think that says it all. Yuhata and Awano in front of them. Then Sawakami and Nobe out wide with Mori in behind Yuki. I don't disagree with that. I think that's right for what our team is. No manager awards for me. I don't know if they even do that kind of thing. I don't know if they do manager of the month and player of the month and all that. I haven't seen anything about it that I can remember. In terms of the player awards, Hiroto Yuki, legend of the save already. I mean, we're into the 6th episode of the save of the Unemployed Journeyman, and Hiroto Yuki is already a legend of the save. And he's not going to be here next season. He is moving on. So I think the fact that we found our first legend so soon, I think that deserves a like on the video, folks. Kento Awano is the young player of the season. Yuichi Uata is the goal of the season. Yuki is a top scorer with 26 goals. He had 5 goals in 19-20 games when we first got here. He scored a subsequent 21 in 19 since then. He has been so awesome. They're calling him a centre-back. He's not a centre-back. He's a striker for us. But, yeah. Shota Kobayashi with 13 assists is top of the assist mark. We have got quite a few old men, as you see here with a 32-year-old Kobayashi. Yuki, most player of the match awards. Yuki, highest average rating. And most passes completed per 90 minutes is Kento Awano. A 22-year-old defensive midfielder is actually a deep line playmaker. The record breakers, I mean, these are all records because it's the first season. Yuki basically has pretty much all of it. Most overall goals by a player in a season, most league goals by a player in a season, most goals by a player in a match, most goals by a player in a league match. Most assists by a player in a season is Kobayashi. Most clean sheets by a player in a season is Yamamoto, another veteran, a 38-year-old goalkeeper. Most player of the match awards is Yuki, and worst discipline is Obu. Scrolling down, Yamamoto is our oldest player at 38 years and 145 days. Fastest goal is Yuta Nobe, and our oldest goal scorer is Miyazaki at 37 years old. History in the making. Once Fukushima got rolling midway through the season, I mean, basically what that should say is once Damo arrived halfway through the season, it looked hard to stop them finishing impressively overall. Fukushima came along better than anyone would have expected and carried that mid-season form all the way to the end. And that's our manager timeline. Welcome on board. A good goal to win it and a new points record. What a timeline that is. Now, if we have a look at our transfers, because there are players coming in, players going out, let's have a look at future transfers. So all of these are going out. So Fantini, a backup goalkeeper, is going out. Kobayashi is leaving. Shun Obu, centre-back, is leaving. Kawanishi, who is a centre-back, is also leaving. Yuki is leaving. I'm heartbroken. I'm devastated. Keita Shiva, I think he's retiring actually. But actually, that's something I wanted to look at because I did get something come through saying that he was retiring. And he's 21 years old. I don't really understand how he's retiring. I mean, here it says leaving on a free transfer. But I definitely had something come through saying that he was retiring. Anyway, he's leaving. Sumi is a striker for us. Rarely played this season. He's leaving as well, 21 years old. Nobe, so good out on that right-hand side for us this season with 9 assists in the J3 League. 4 stars. He's leaving on a free transfer as well. It doesn't actually say who they're joining. It just says he's leaving on a free transfer. Then Asugi, I don't even know who this guy is. Oh, he's in the reserves, that's why. He's leaving on a free transfer. Kamikawa, he's also on the reserves. He's leaving. And Tanaka, who we've played on the right a couple of times, he's leaving as well. I mean, that one, it says he's joining Nagano, so we know who he's joining. But all of these just look like they're going to be free agents. And, I mean, if we can't offer any contracts or anything like that. It's just really weird. I don't know where any of these players are going. But anyway, we are signing some players. So we're bringing in Kenshin Yoshimaru. I'll tell you what, we'll have a look at these when they actually come in because we can't really get a good look at them at the moment because we've got attributes hidden and we can't really scout anybody. So we'll have a look at all of these when they actually come in. They're going to come in most of them on the 1st of December, so about a month from now. Then we've got a few that are the 5th and the 6th of December. So in terms of our tactic, if we have a look at who's here at the moment, so Yamamoto is staying. He's wanted by Akita, but he is staying. I mean, he is 38 years old, but if he's still able to do the job, then I'll say we just keep him. Kobayashi is leaving and retiring. Kawanishi is leaving. Suzu is staying. He's apparently on the loan list, but he is staying. He's got some potential, Suzu. So I think what we actually might want to do is take him off the loan list. Just put him no status. There you go. He's taken off the loan list. So we'll take him out because he's leaving. So Kobayashi is leaving. Kawanishi is leaving. Miyazaki is staying. So we've still got him hanging around. And again, he's another old man, 37 years old. But he was decent, but I will look at improving on him. Kento Iwano is staying, but he's wanted by Nagasaki. I mean, they don't have great values, but at least he is under contract for another couple of years. So we can keep Iwano. Uhata is also staying. Nobe, we know, is leaving, so we need to remove him from here. Kotomura is actually on the transfer list. I mean, it shows how much attention I've paid to this because I wasn't even aware he was on the transfer list, to be honest. So let's take Kotomura off the transfer list. He is wanted. Sawakami is also what I mean. Again, with him, he's not great. He's 30 years old as well. Don't mind if he does go, to be honest. Yuki we know is leaving, so we have to move him. Fantini we know is leaving as well, so we need to move him. So Kai Toshiba, here you go. So 21 years old. If we look at this here, retiring on the 31st of the 1st. I don't understand why a 21-year-old with 4-star potential is retiring. I don't understand it. It's just so odd. But anyway, we'll remove him because he's leaving and Tanaka's going as well. So we'll remove him. So all of these basically, or most of these, are going to be leaving. There are people like Mukai who really doesn't fit into the way we play. There's not really much point keeping him around. So we can actually, I think, if we add him to the transfer list and just set transfer status, transfer listed, boom, off you go, my son. Naoya Saita, I mean, he's got some potential, so we can certainly keep him around. So let's move him up to here. And then, so all of these are either leaving or we want gone, basically. Oh no, Doana, is he decent? Yeah, he's not too bad. He's 25 years old. He can certainly come up here and be a part of our team somewhere, maybe on the bench or something. Obu going, Kawanishi going, Kobayashi. Just confirming these are all still ones that are going now. Here's another one, Hiroki Higuchi. I mean, he's rubbish. He's still here for another 2 years. I mean, can we not just get someone to buy him? Yeah, oh no! Oh, what have I done? Oh, oh my God. I clicked reconsider. Why did I reconsider? I want him gone. Anyway, I'm going to move forward to the 1st of January when we have new players coming in and some old players going out. By the looks of it, the new season starts on the 5th of March. So it's going to be a reasonable amount of time pre-season to actually work on new signings. Okay, so I'll tell you what, some of these signings that have been done before we arrived are actually looking quite decent. Yuto Ozeki as a defensive midfielder, 18-year-old, 4-star current ability with 5-star potential. He comes in on loan. He loves being a deep line playmaker in this area. Now, if we look at the moment, we do have Iwano in there, who is a 4-star rated player. What I'm kind of looking at the moment, see, don't really like being anything else. We've actually got 2 excellent deep line playmakers. That could be a bit of a problem. But Ozeki actually looks really decent. Can he do anything else in that position? I mean, he's 3 stars at several other roles. What is the actual role we play in here? Defensive midfielder. Might need to change that to a ball-winning midfielder. I mean, Uhata is probably going to be the one that makes, or will be the one that makes way. But if we change that to a ball-winning midfielder on defend and then bring Ozeki up into that role, I mean, it's an upgrade. At the very least, it's an upgrade. What we've also got, if we have a look through more of this list, we've got Yuto Matsunagani. Yeah. Now, it says he's a 19-year-old fullback. He's on loan as well, 4-star with 5-star potential. He can play central defence at 4 stars. And bearing in mind, as a fullback, he'd be a left-back for us, most likely. But he can't cross at all. So he doesn't really fit the role of a fullback for me, even though on the left-hand side he would only be on support, but he'd be worse than, well, I imagine he'd be worse. Let's have a look at him. Where is he? Matsunagani, if we put him in place of, or put me on the right-hand side, he's 2 stars there. On the left, he's 2 stars as well. So we could actually put him there, and he's 3.5 stars. If we put him as cover, he goes on 4 stars. I mean, that is such an upgrade on what we've got at the moment. And with Ozeki and Matsunagani, that is a massive, massive upgrade. Right. The others, we'll have a look at. I mean, this is Nagano, has signed 11 players. We've got 3 other players that have arrived. Look at 4.5 star, 4.5 star, 3. I mean, this is the worst one. He's a 28-year-old attacking fullback, 3 stars in Yosuke Akiyama. He plays on the left-hand side, which we don't actually need him on the left-hand side, to be quite honest. It's a right side we need. But if we have a look at him, it is an improvement. We probably do have to go with him. You know, he's 3 stars instead of 2 stars, so that is an improvement. Can Miyazaki play on the right as well? No, he's just on the left. Right. Again, let's go back and have another look at the rest. So Yoshimaru is a 27-year-old goalkeeper. I mean, we don't actually need a goalkeeper when you consider what we've got at the moment. We've already got Yamamoto, who's top class. But Yoshimaru, if we move him up, I mean, let's do a comparison between Yoshimaru and Yamamoto. And so Yoshimaru is in the green. So he's not as physical. He's a lot quicker, which you'd imagine he would be. He's got 11 years on Yamamoto. He's not got the mentals. He's not as good at communication. He's not as eccentric. Not quite as that. So really, Yamamoto is actually the better of the 2 goalkeepers. But I think we probably go with him. I haven't decided. I haven't made up my mind on that one. And then finally, we've got Kichi Yajima, who is a striker. And we need a striker at the end of the day. He doesn't look like he's going to be a massively impressive striker. But then again, neither did Hiroto Yuki. So if we come down here and find, where is he? Yajima. Put him in there. He's 4 stars as an advanced forward. If we wanted to make him a poacher on attack, I mean, that is already looking like a really decent team. We've still got roles we need to replace. There's still players to come in as well. So Yamamoto would move up here as our goalkeeper. Shibata and Nozu substitutes for there. Uhata can come in here as our as a backup midfielder. These 2 we don't really want. Miyazaki doesn't really fit into our team. So yeah, we'll have a look at the two players, or the four players that are due to come in. Yeah, four more players that are due to come in. I'll come back to you on the 6th of January when these four players have come in. We'll put them into our squad, and then we'll know exactly where we need to actually bring players in for. Can we send him out? Can we ask agent about market interest? There's club, proceed. Yeah, that's wonderful. So that's Higuchi. Then Mukai, I mean, he's listed. No one's interested. If we just, can we put his transfer value as 0? Confirm that. Will an intermediary do anything? No. So we can offer him out via the transfer room. He's on the transfer list. Let's just offer him out. Hopefully he will go. We'll probably keep Miyazaki because he can act as backup for that left-hand side for us, and Shibata can be more for the right-hand side. So yeah, things are starting to come together. Hopefully, out of the next 4 players that are coming in, we might fill some of these, like the right back and the right and left side of midfield. Let's have a look at what they're like. Okay, so the other 4 players have now arrived, and we'll get to one of them in a moment, because it turns out one of their players that we had here last season that left was actually on loan, and he's now come back on a permanent deal. Not sure how I feel about it either, but we'll get to that in a second. Takuto Kato, he's a defensive midfielder, 2.5-star current with 3.5-star potential. If we have a look at him, he's not really someone that I want to have at the club, to be quite honest. If we have a look at his loan contract, it's not even got a recall option in there, so they're probably not going to recall him, but he'll just be a backup option for us. He can play as a defensive midfielder, as a ball-winning midfielder a little bit, so yeah, maybe. These two are quite promising though. I mean, this one here is another defensive midfielder, 25-year-old defensive midfielder, Takaiki Haragaya. But look at that, 4.5-star, 25-year-old deep line playmaker, can also do 3.5 stars as a defensive midfielder. I mean, he's going to have to go in as a deep line playmaker. I know I don't really want to take Awano out, but I'm sorry, he is just so good. Then we have Masayuki Yamada. He's our right back, ladies and gentlemen. 4-star right back. We wanted the right back. We've got him. Let's go and put these players in. I mean, remember, this is what it looks like at the moment. And this is the other guy, by the way, Sawakami, Ryuji Sawakami. If you remember me moaning about him when I first got here in episode 1 of the series, about the fact that he's only a 2-star rated player, that when you actually look at him in the position, he's only 1.5 stars. He's not good enough, blah, 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 blah. He had a really good season for us last season. If you have a look at his history, 13 goals, 6 assists from 29 appearances at a 7.17. Bearing in mind, we weren't here for some of those as well. So I'm not sure how I feel. He's probably going to be fine, but he does prefer to be a striker. Maybe he can be a backup option to Yajima as a striker. But let's get some of these in. So Yamada, first of all, we've got nothing there at the moment. Hang on, what's going on here? Oh, he wants to be a no-nonsense fullback. Oh, this is going to be a bit tricky. I mean, he can do an inverted fullback. Oh, he's not as good as I thought he was going to be, I must admit. But I mean, we haven't got anything otherwise, so he's better than what we had. But what's this guy like in an attacking option? Not really great. Okay, well, it's better than what we had, put it that way. Then we have the other guy, is it Haragaya? Yeah, he's a man, Haragaya. So he wants to be a deep line playmaker. So, I mean, he can do that as a ball-winning midfielder. That is a solid central midfield for us, Haragaya and Awano. And then we can take probably a Mori out. Ozeki can go in there as a substitute, as the backup option. Miyazaki, oh no, he only plays that. I'm desperate to get that boy into the team. I really am. We need to have some attacking options here, a striker and a wide player, essentially. So really what we're looking for is we need someone that can play on the right. I would like someone that can play on the left as well. We need some attackers. We've got a squad at the moment of 21 people. We can have a squad of 25, and I'm looking at basically them other 4 positions being the wide positions. So if we go to our transfers, go to our director of football, suggest transfer targets, we need to operate on free transfers. So this is the first position we need, really. Now, has he actually scouted any of these? Because, see, this is the problem. We need to scout the players to know whether there are any no scouts available for this one. He's Colombian, it's outside our range. We can scout him. If his acceleration is 18, then yes, please. He's 32 years old. Don't really want to sign pensioners, but if we haven't got a choice, then we haven't got a choice. Suggest transfer targets. We'll go for the left-hand side this time as an inside forward on a free transfer. I mean, this guy's 22 years old. It's saying he's an A. I mean, he's a free agent. Let's have a... I'm not agreeing to that, even though I am planning on doing that anyway. You can be an important player. Oh. Right, hang on. Let me adjust the wage budgets a minute. Right. There you go. So that was 1.3k, wasn't it? Let's knock him down to that. We're not giving him a sell-on fee. Say 20% for that. We lock that in. Now he wants 1.5. Let's see if we knock him down to 1.2, 1.3. There you go. He's accepted the 1.3 that he originally wanted anyway. Right. Hopefully, he's a good player. He's 22 years old. So then we've got this guy here. No scouts available. William. No, I can't sign these players. I mean, he's Brazilian as well. But there's absolutely nothing for it. Right, we'll see if anything comes back from these scout reports and if Sakada actually joins us. And yeah, I'll come back to you when we've actually got a bit of news. Okay, it's match day, and I've got to say I am not filled with confidence for this season. Everything is going wrong at the moment. Let's have a look at transfers, transfer history. So we go back here. We did bring in a couple of players early on in January. Yutaro Sukada as a free transfer, can play right or left, 3.5 star current ability, 4 star potential. We then brought in Misael, who's a 36-year-old Brazilian. He does have a clause in his contract that if he plays 10 games or more, he gets to have a 1-year extension added to his contract. Every part of him is going down, but he's basically the only option we've got. He can also play right or left. He'll be playing on the right as a winger. I mean, he's not good enough, but we haven't really got a great deal to go with. We did sell or let Tanaka go to Nagano, which you would have known from earlier on in the video anyway. And we've also brought in, on a free transfer, Lin J. He's a second foreigner for us, along with Misael, the Brazilian. He's a 31-year-old centre-back, good quality centre-back, 3.5 stars, 6'2" as well, which means in this league he could actually do pretty decent force on corners as well. He would go straight into our team. Hiroko Higuchi has gone to Rheinberg on a free transfer, and we sold a couple of players, 2 centre-backs, Satoru Nozu to Sanuki for 3.4 thousand, and then Kazuki Dahana to Namazu for 20,000, rising to 21,500. That actually came to me with a bid of about £3,000 for him, and I just said, no, give me 20, it'll go away, thinking they was just going to go away. but they came back and accepted it. So I was like, okay, fair enough. Now, the problem, he took ages to get in because we were waiting for his sale to go through before we could actually have enough money in the transfer budget to be able to get him in. We are overspent by about £700 a week on our wage budget. The 20,000 we had come in for Dahana, I had to put all of that into the wage budget to get it even remotely close to what it is here. And yeah, we are, well, we've got 1.2 million in the bank, but we are, like I say, overspent on our wage budget. Injuries as well during pre-season. It has been ridiculous. 10 injuries in pre-season so far. And the worst one of all is our new striker, Kichi Yajima, who up to that point had played 5 games and scored 5 goals. He's out for 3 months, 2 more months with a torn thigh muscle. So we now have no striker, basically. If we look at the team that we're likely to put out for the first game, I mean, there is the potential that we could bring in Sawakami to play on the left and Sakada play on the right. Either that or leave them that way round. But it does mean that we effectively don't have a striker. We're having to play Sawakami as our striker. We do have Nagano. He's one of their youngsters. He's a 21-year-old from the reserves, from the youth team, basically. But again, he's hardly convincing, is he, as a striker? Oh, we're really going to miss Yuki. We really are going to miss Yuki. Right, so yeah, that's basically the team. The first game of the season, we're probably going to go with Shibata in there because Yamada is recovering from an injury, as is Yuhata as well. If we have a look at dynamics, team cohesion is average, club atmosphere is very good, managerial support is average. If we have a look at, now this is quite strange because last season we only had 2 competitions, the J3 League and the All Japan Cup. This season there's now a League Cup as well. I have no idea where it's come from. It don't seem to have existed last season, or at least we weren't in it. If we have a look at past winners, oh yeah, it's been going on for many years. It's been going on since 1992, but we just obviously weren't in it for some reason last season. No idea why, but we are in it this season. We play a team, Gunma, who are in the J2 League. In the first round is a 2-legged affair. The All Japan Cup, I mean, quite strangely, all of the fixtures have been, well, it's already been drawn. I don't know why they're saying it still needs to be drawn, because it's already been drawn. Either that way, it might be the other one that's already been drawn. Let's have a quick look at it. Oh yeah, there you go. So the League Cup, we're in the first round. You've got a second round, round of 16, quarter-final, semi-final and final. We already kind of know who we're going to play in the semi-final. It's absolute madness, this competition. It really is. But it is what it is. If we have a look at the season preview for the league, if he wants to let me click on it. According to this, we're going to be finishing 3rd. And the board, they're stitching me up as well, because as you would have remembered, it had us as finishing top half for the current season. They've now changed it and wants to reach the playoffs. So basically we have to finish in the top 2, and that's required as well. That's minimum. So I don't know how much longer we're going to be here, folks, because the team, if everyone's fit, which they're not, we're already missing 2 of our first teamers. If everyone's fit, I would say our first 11 is very, very competitive. But once we start getting into the subs, there's only a few in there that I would trust. The rest of them, I really don't. We've only got 1 backup centre back, so we need to hope that we're not missing both of them, because again, we're then going to be playing, say, Yamada, for example, out of position in the central defence. I don't know how this season's going to go. I'll be honest with you, it is a nightmare. I've been absolutely loving it up to this point. In terms of the pre-season friendlies, as you can see there, it's gone pretty decent. We've kept a lot of clean sheets, 4 clean sheets. Actually, we did get a 0-0 draw against Mito, the only slip up there. But otherwise, it's been a pretty decent pre-season, I have to admit. So that is pretty much it for this episode. Tomorrow will be our first 2 games of the season, which if we look at the schedule, which we're already on, we've got Nagano in the league and then Gunma in the first round, first leg of this very weird League Cup. So please leave a like on the video, folks, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow for the start of our first full season with Fukushima United.